a lot of new shooters out there, so there's a lot of requests for information about what to use as a cleaning kit, what kind of oils, what kind of greases, what kind of cleaners, etc., right? So we're going to talk about that real quick today. First and foremost, this is the kit that I was issued in the military. I was in the Air Force for 21 years. I went through 2 tours in Iraq. Yes, actual ground combat. I know, it's weird. So this is what I carried with me the whole time. It was brand new when I was issued it. It's definitely not brand new anymore. So these are the pieces that it comes with right here. They're basically steel cleaning rods with a basic bore brush and a chamber brush. This is the bore brush, chamber brush, and then it comes with an eyelet. Okay, so these fit a little bit differently. The threads are different than most of your civilian made models. It's okay. Keep them together and you're usually just fine. I added a 9mm cleaning rod and a 9mm brush from the military cleaning, another military cleaning kit to this, so it was all in one. And I threw in a couple of brushes. This had CLP in it. I have subsequently cleaned this out and replaced it with Weapon Shield. I've added this afterwards. This is grease that I make myself and use. This is the cleaner that I typically have in the bag with it, and then this stays in there too. These are just cleaning patches. Very, very basic stuff. You don't have to get crazy with a cleaning kit for an AR-15. You just don't have to do it. As a matter of fact, I'd say if anything looks fancy, I would probably recommend you not purchase it or try and use it. There's really no advancement in hydrocarbons. Oils are oils, greases are greases, waxes are waxes. They're all hydrocarbons. They're just in different states of solid versus liquid. They are all lubricants. Some are overly fancy, and overly fancy shit in guns has a tendency to fuck them up. So just don't do it. Stay simple. This is a basic synthetic oil. Okay, Weapon Shield is a basic synthetic oil. It has some EPs, which I'm not going to go into what that is, but it's basically an anti-galling compound. Very basic stuff, right? This right here is a mixture of Mobil 1 synthetic with 10W30 synthetic mobil oil and ATF, okay? Some people use 10W20, whatever. It's very basic stuff. You really can't harm anything in the gun with this, and it's very, very sticky, so it stays in place well, and it also has a very high amount of viscosity to it, okay? Real basic cleaner. It's really close to Windex. I won't go into the chemical properties of all of that stuff. I'll just make you mad. So, but it works. It cleans off really easy and it doesn't damage the gun at all. Very basic stuff, okay? This is not a basic kit. This is an advanced kit. This is what I use for my AR bag, and it stays in there, and I use this because when I'm at tactical rifle matches and somebody's gun goes down, guess who they come and get? They come and get me. So I'm punching out stuck cases with these, which is one of the reasons I really like steel rods for cleaning. I have a couple of different types of brushes in here if I need to clean something out or push a patch through the bore. I do have a cat in here in case somebody has a horrifically dirty gun and I need to just get it in a position to where it's functional. Do not recommend using these a lot. If you use these every time you clean, you will damage the bolt. Okay, so that little stem on the back, if you change the dimension on that, it churns your bolt and it makes it less efficient. So be really, really careful with these. This is something that I use horrifically sparingly, and I usually do it when I'm having to try and figure out what the hell is going on in the middle of nowhere with someone's gun, and I need something that isn't, you know, a whole gunsmithing table, okay? I have a Glock tool in here. This is more Weapon Shield, spare parts, spare Glock and AR parts. This is a very advanced kit. I even have slave pins in here to replace triggers if I have to in the field. Not something I recommend for the beginner. This is something, if you're going to Iraq, this is what I would take. I would not take this anymore. I would take this simply because I understand the need for these. Basic, clean bore, steel cleaning rod. This is probably the best commercial rod on the market in my opinion, okay? They're cheap, they're easy, they're steel, they'll work. You can buy some patches and some jigs with it and some cleaning brushes and you can go for it. It doesn't have to be super fancy. So these, This is an Otis. This is an Otis pull-through cleaning kit. This is what they issued me, I think my second tour in Iraq, and it went straight into a shit box. Why? Because this is shit. So pulling a patch or a brush through a bore is the worst idea ever come up in cleaning. I have had to remove 5 of these in 5 years. So both these and the bore snakes, they get stuck in the bores, especially on 223s. The bore's very tight. People have a tendency to try to use too much patch. Next thing you know, it's stuck. Okay, well, it's a cable. So how are you supposed to be able to push on it or pull on it? You can't. You're kind of done. And then you bring it to me, and I charge you hellacious amounts of money because I have to spend basically a whole day to get that thing out of there. They're pretty awful. So don't use these. The pull-through systems are awful. Just get a basic push-through rod system and some basic brushes. Okay? So moving along, let's talk about oils and cleaners. So I have used everything on here, plus probably another 1,000 other products. Once again, keep it real simple. It doesn't have to be super marvelous, fancy. Oh my God, look at this. I got to follow instructions. Here's what I tell people. If you're being charged over $5 an ounce for the cleaner or the lubricant, it's a ripoff. Okay? If you have to follow instructions on how to put it on the gun properly, it's a ripoff. So that clears it up right there. So basically, fire clean and frog lube are out of it. I'll just call those right off, okay? How about no? Those are horrible, horrible products, and we have actually charged people massive amounts of money to get the frog lube out of their gun so it'll run properly. Don't do it. Keep it simple, okay? These are all basic synthetic greases and oils. Lucas, can't go wrong. Weapon Shield, can't go wrong. Tetra Grease has a huge temperature rating, okay? It's probably not the most viscous of all of these, and it does pick up a little bit of dirt and grime a little bit faster, but quite frankly, I ran this in Iraq for a couple of months, and my gun was fine. Everyone else's was drying out. And I'll talk about CLP in just a second. ALG Go Juice, really good. This is my own mixture of Mobil 1 synthetic, 10W30 synthetic mobil oil, and ATF. You can use 10W20, 10W30. You really can't screw up mixing this up. Black Rifle. So this is cherry bombs. I've been playing with this a little bit lately. So it's fairly expensive for the amount that you're getting, and it's got this cherry smell to it. I don't know. It works. Dude, don't get me wrong. This stuff freaking works. No doubt about it. But for the price, I don't know. I think I kind of like Mobil 1 and 10W30 mix more than that. So keep it simple. If you put it in your truck, it's probably going to work in your gun. Cleaners, hoppies. Be careful with hoppies. It has 0.05% ammonia in it, which means that it can actually damage certain types of finishes like nickel coating. You don't definitely ever want to put it on there. This is a new one, Breakthrough. We've been using it. I like it a lot. It has no smell to it. It doesn't stain anything. And it breaks down oils better than anything I've found so far. Very good. And then M-Pro 7. We use M-Pro 7 as a basic cleaner here, and we have for more than 5 years. It's probably one of the best out there. This is very similar to Windex, and I won't go into the chemical properties, but it will work cleaning guns. You just wipe it off. You make sure you oil it well afterwards. No problems. Keep it simple, right? Windex has been around forever. We know it works. Hoppies has been around forever. We know it works. This stuff, I'm not sure what it is. I haven't broken it down yet, but I'll tell you what, I know it works, and it's a fairly new product. We're always testing new stuff. Basic stuff, okay? Basic stuff. Keep it in that realm, and you're going to be just fine. One last thing, CLP. When you notice that these are cleaners and these are lubricants, and the two are not the same. Some cleaners will break down hydrocarbons chemically when they get warm enough in the gun. So, for example, CLP, which this is not CLP. This has been emptied. This was the bottle that came with my cleaning kit. and I poured it out and cleaned it, and then I put Weapon Shield in here. And I use Weapon Shield in a pinch if I have to try and clean something off. It works okay for that, but it doesn't have any cleaner in it. Cleaners will attack the hydrocarbon chain, and it'll break the carbon chain down into smaller pieces of carbon. And when that happens, they now have the ability to aerosol or change state of matter at a lower temperature. So they go from a liquid to a gas, just like boiling water, except it's at a lower temperature, and then they evaporate off of the gun. So CLP in Iraq while I was there was evaporating out of our guns. Our guns, it was 128 to 130 degrees in Iraq. Our guns are black. And CLP was, we'd lather that crap in, we'd come back in after 10 hours and it was done, gone. Our guns were dry. So we got rid of all the CLP and we went to 30 weight motor oil and Tetra grease. And our guns ran 100% after that. So you have to be careful when it comes to these, it cleans, lubricates, and protects. Nah, cleaners clean, lubricants lubricate. Don't mix the two, keep them separate, and you're going to be chemically better, and it's going to be better for your gun in the long run.